DeadTime Now, where time stops and horror begins. Put on your headphones, find a quiet corner, and turn off the lights. Because what you're about to hear is not just a story, it's a true nightmare.
Missing mothers. Dallas's unexplained disappearances in the heart of Dallas. A disturbing pattern has taken shape. Mothers are disappearing without a trace, leaving families shattered and desperate for answers. These women are the center of their families, the keepers of memories, and then, one day, they're just gone. These aren't statistics. They're not just headlines. They are real stories of love, loss, and the agonizing unknown. These are the stories of the mothers who vanished and the chilling mysteries they left behind. Some voids are so deep, they echo for decades. For Sonia Moreno's family, that echo has been a constant, painful presence for over 20 years. Back in December 2004, in Fort Worth, Sonia was a vibrant, 32-year-old mother of 3. Her kids were her entire world. Her daughter, Sandy, only 8 at the time, remembers a loving, protective mother. A woman with a life, with plans, with a future. The night she disappeared started like any other. Sonia argued with her boyfriend, Jorge Mesa, at a nightclub and left to stay with her best friend. But the argument wasn't over. Around 5 a.m., Mesa called the friend's house, talked to Sonia, and then came to pick her up. That was the last time anyone who knew her saw her again. The investigation almost immediately zeroed in on Mesa. Friends and family told police he'd been threatening, warning Sonia that something bad would happen if she ever left him. A warrant was issued for his arrest for kidnapping, but Jorge Mesa had vanished. Just as completely as Sonia, the trail went cold almost instantly. The only piece of evidence that ever turned up came 3 months later. In March 2005, Sonia S. white Ford Windstar minivan was found abandoned across the border in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. But the car held no answers. No sign of Sonia, no sign of Mesa. For 20 long years, that's where the story stalled. Her children grew up without their mother, and her parents grew old without their daughter. But in May 2025, a flicker of hope appeared. After 2 decades of silence, the Fort Worth Police Department agreed to revisit the case, assigning a new detective to look at everything with fresh eyes. For Sonia's family, who've carried this uncertainty for so long, it was the breakthrough they'd been praying for. The pain is still raw, but now, there's a renewed hope for the one thing they've always wanted, to find Sonia and finally bring her home. The call no one answered. The tragedy of Deanna Cook. Sometimes, a mother doesn't disappear on a dark road or in another country. Sometimes, it happens in the one place she should have been safest, her own home. And sometimes, the mystery isn't just about who's responsible, but why the very system designed to protect her failed so tragically. This is the story of Deanna Cook and the 911 call that recorded her final moments. It was August 2012. Deanna, a 32-year-old mother, was home in South Dallas when her ex-husband, Del Vecchio Patrick, forced his way inside. As he attacked her, Deanna did what we're all taught to do. She called 911 for 11 excruciating minutes. Her pleas for help were recorded. She was gasping, begging for her life as Patrick allegedly choked her. Help should have been on the way, but it wasn't. The call taker struggled to pinpoint her address. It took 10 minutes just to dispatch officers. When police finally arrived nearly an hour after she first called, they knocked, checked the windows, and when no one answered, they left. Along the way, officers had even made a stop at a 7-Eleven. 2 days later, Deanna's family, worried because they couldn't reach her, went to the house themselves. After a dismissive 911 operator wouldn't send officers to help them get inside, they kicked in the door. They found Deanna's body. The fallout was immediate. Deanna's ex-husband was arrested and convicted of her murder. But the focus quickly shifted to the systemic failures that let this happen. One 911 call taker was fired, another disciplined. and the Dallas Police Department had to overhaul its entire domestic violence response system. Deanna's family filed a federal lawsuit, claiming her call wasn't treated urgently because she was a black woman living in South Dallas. A similar call from a wealthier part of the city, they argued, would have been handled differently. The city fought the lawsuit 4 years, spending hundreds of thousands on legal fees before a judge dismissed it in 2019. The family called it a slap in the face. While her killer is behind bars, the questions about the system still linger. Deanna Cook's story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most terrifying thing to disappear is accountability. When a mother is crying out for help, the mother on the run. The case of Cindy Rodriguez-Singh in most of these stories. The mother is the victim. Her family is left pleading for answers. But in a case that shocked North Texas, the script was violently flipped. Here, the mother is the one who vanished not as a victim, but as a fugitive leaving behind a horrifying mystery and the 6-year-old son who is now gone forever. The story starts in Everman, a Dallas-Fort Worth suburb, with the disappearance of Noel Rodriguez-Alvarez. Noel was a special needs child who had chronic lung disease. He was last seen for sure in the fall of 2022. When relatives started to worrying about him March 2023, they called the police. During a welfare check, Noel's mother, Cindy Rodriguez-Singh, lied to officers. She claimed her son was safe, living with his biological father in Mexico. Just days after that interview, Cindy made her move. On March 22, 2023, she, her husband, and her 6 other children boarded a flight to India. Noel wasn't with them. Her flight triggered an Amber Alert and the massive search for the little boy. As investigators dug deeper, a sickening picture began to form. Relatives told police about a history of abuse and neglect, saying Noel often looked unhealthy and malnourished. The case shifted from a missing person search to a murder inquiry. Authorities now believe Noel is dead, killed by the one person who should have protected him. His body has never been found. In October 2023, Cindy was charged with capital murder. The search went from local to international, and in a dramatic move in July 2025, the FBI added Cindy Rodriguez-Singh to its 10 most wanted fugitives list. There's now a $250,000 reward for information that leads to her capture. Authorities believe she's still in India, a fugitive from justice, hiding from what she allegedly did. The case of Cindy Rodriguez-Singh is a dark, disturbing outlier history, not of a mother who was taken, but of a mother who ran, leaving an empty space where a child's life used to be. A cold case, to decades old, now has new life. A desperate 911 call exposed a broken system. An international manhunt is underway for a mother accused of an unthinkable crime. These are just 3 stories from the Dallas area, each a different, tragic side of the same coin. They represent the families waiting for a call that never comes, the children forced to grow up with a hole in their lives, and the investigators trying to solve a puzzle when the most important piece is missing. For every case that hits the news, countless others fade away, their files left open, their families trapped in grief. The common thread is always the silence, the questions that hang in the air, sometimes forever. What happened in their final moments, and where are they now? These mothers deserve to be remembered. Their stories have to be told. The search for them and for justice can't ever stop. If you have any information about Sonia Moreno's disappearance, the whereabouts of Cindy Rodriguez-Singh, or any other missing person in North Texas, please reach out. You can contact the Dallas Police Department, the Fort Worth Police Department, or the FBI at 1800 call FBI. Your tip, no matter how small you think it is, could be the key to giving a family the answers they've been waiting for. Please share this video to help keep these stories alive. You can support the families in their ongoing search for answers by never letting their loved ones be forgotten. Subscribe for more investigations into the cases that demand our attention. Thank you for watching.